Hello gems! Welcome to Gemini Beauty. Today we're going to do a basic tutorial, just a simple look that you can pull together really with any of the similar shades that I'd be using. You don't have to use the same exact products as me, but I do think that this is a fun look, it's a nice natural look, and you can even dress it up and dress it down. Natural Matte Eyeshadow Palette. I got it in a Boxycharm. I don't get PR. I purchase every piece of makeup that I possess. Well, that or my parents did when I first started doing makeup. But this is the palette that I'm going to be using today. And I got it in a Boxycharm, so it was free-ish for me. I pay, a premium to get the Boxycharm premium subscription box, actually. Let's just rewind for a second. I used to get all three. And then it proved to be way too expensive on a student budget. So I was like, let's cut it back to one, and I stuck with premium. I'm not a professional makeup artist. I am self-taught. So I'm actually going to start off by cleansing my face, or exfoliating. But I have what's called Go-To Exfoliating Swipeys. They're also out of a Boxycharm. And I find they're actually amazing. They smell really good. They do have a sunburn warning. It contains an alpha hydroxy acid that may increase your skin's sensitivity to the sun, and particularly the possibility of sunburn. Use a sunscreen, wear protective clothing, and limit sun exposure when using this product for a week afterwards. I mean, it's COVID season, so who's going outside? It's also winter. Who's going outside? Not me. So anyway, they smell like mandarin. I think it's mandarin. I get breakouts along my chin line and my neck. And it never used to happen to me until this year. So, that's fun. I actually have a buttload of primers to choose from. What I've been using recently is the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Base Tape Hydrating Primer, the coconut one. And I really enjoy it. So we're going to be using that today. I do my face in sections. I start with my forehead, then I do my eyebrows, and then my eyes, and then the rest of my face. So that way I don't have to mess up what I've already done. So I'm going to start by priming my forehead. I just dot it all over, and I put a little bit on my fingers, and then I do my eyelids. And I am wearing contacts, so it's going to push them all around inside my eyeball, which is my least favorite part because then my vision goes blurry. So this is actually a very hydrating primer, I find. I forgot to do moisturizer, so we're just going to keep going because why stop? So my foundation, spin my little wheel here, is actually the Sheerglow foundation by Nars, and I'm shade Mont Blanc Light 2. I don't know if I said that right. I should know French, but c'est la vie. That was French. Please don't rewind and rewatch that giggle. That was really embarrassing. And I like some coverage. Your girl enjoys some fabulous coverage. So we're just going to cover the eyes, go over the eyebrows. I just go over the whole section here. A good beating, a good blending. So I'm actually just going to grab, this isn't even all my brushes. Now I'm going to take a Sigma brush. It's the Sigma Powder Blush Brush, the F10. And it's got nothing on it, but I'm just going to dab it over my eyebrows because I find that when I just put foundation over my eyebrows, they're a little wet. And I don't like that, so I powdered them down, or like pat them down, to give them a little bit more of a dry texture. That way, when I apply my eyebrows, it's not going to go all over the place because I use Dipbrow. The majority of the makeup that I will be using in this video is Boxycharm provided, so not PR, but I paid for it. Why am I in here? So what I wanted to do was find my brow brush, and that's going to take a while. So the brush that I like to use for my brow, and it's number 12 I think, in the ABH brushes, and I use the Dipbrow in Taupe. When I was 4 years old, I sustained an injury to my eyebrow, thus resulting in stitches, and the eyebrow no longer grows the same, and it doesn't grow hair in one spot, and there's a little scar. So this eyebrow is a little bit thicker on the tail. This eyebrow has a higher arch, and it's also higher in general. Love pointing out my imperfections, but why not? We're this far in. Let's just get real cozy with each other. Okay, so I actually like a dramatic brow, and I think those are even. We're just gonna pray for the best and hope for the worst. And I'll pull out my ABH Taupe brow gel. And we just give the little fluffies a little bit of a brush. Well, I think that it's just generally easier to say that my eyebrows are uneven, and we're just gonna go with what they're presenting themselves like today. So, in order to prime my eyes, I'm going to be using, oh, I have some PLEs, but I'm going to be using the Too Faced 24-Hour Shadow Insurance, which is like, it's blue, so it just comes, and I have just this little tester tube. And we're just going to put a little, we're just going to put a little bit on each eye. I have a couple brushes here that I'm going to be using today, and one of them is a crown brush, and it doesn't have a number. It just came in a crown set from Boxycharm, and it's just looks like this. It's dirty, don't mind that. The other brush is a Sigma Diffused Crease E38, and it's just like this. It's kind of plumed a little bit. And I don't actually really use it for my crease all the time. I'm going to use it to diffuse the outer corner. So we're going to take the crown brush, and I don't think they came with shade names, but if I had a little sheet with shade names, it's gone. Is this peach color, right? This peach color right on the corner here. And we're just going to dab into that. I'm actually going to pick up a lot of product because I want this color payoff, because it's a nice peach, which means it's light. So you can see that it comes off, because some of the other ones, like in the palette, they're more orangey, and I really like this peach. So I'm just dabbing it in there, and I'm dragging it outward, and I'm actually going to bring it all over the lid, or at least in the first half of it. And we're just going to, because this is like, it's going to serve not only as a transition shade, but as like the inner eye corner shade that we're going to be using. And I'm not using a heavy hand, just using a light pressure. So now we're going to take the little diffused crease brush, and we're going to dip it into that dark color in the corner here. It's like brown with purple notes to it. Tap off. And we're going to lightly hit that corner, the outer corner. We're going to lightly dust upward, and then take it in a diagonal, or add a diagonal into that peach. Okay? Then we're going to put it in there, into the inner corner of, I guess into the inner part of the outer corner. And then we're going to do the same without going back into the palette yet on the other side. So what we're doing is we're focusing this color on the outer corner. We don't want to take it in too far. And we want it pigmented, but we don't want it crazy. So we're doing a really light hand. And any peach shade will work. Any dark shade will work for this. I just happen to really like the peach shade in this palette. So now that the outer corner is mostly blended, I'm going to take the original brush that we had and dip it back in the peach. And just going to diffuse a little bit any harshness that we've got going on up at the top here, just to kind of give us some softer lines. And you want to do that wherever you see an opportunity to diffuse something. So I moved in closer to you guys because now it's time for a tricky task. Eyeliner. And I'm using the Stila Stale Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in Intense Black with a micro tip. So now I have my eyeliner all done. And it's just a thin line. I decided I didn't want to wing because I think I'm going to try out falsies today. So we're going to do some mascara, and then we're going to do some falsies. So in order to do this today, I'm going to be using just a Sephora brand eyelash curler. And then I'm going to be using the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. I'm going to be using Morphe curved tweezers to apply them, and Quo full eyelash adhesive. It's white, so it will dry clear. Glue is drying. Okay, moment of truth time. So now that the lashes are on, we can actually go ahead, and they're a little heavy. That's why my eyes are moving weird. We can actually go ahead and do the rest of our foundation. Dot it all over the face. Putting foundation on my sponge. It's going to be a lot. My sister's also really into makeup. She's very good at it. So we bonded over makeup growing up. It was a big help for us. And we just make sure we blend down the neck. And when you feel like you are sufficiently blended, you can stop. I use the Becca Hydra-Mist Set and Refresh Powder. Oh, I just put a bunch of it in the cap. Not what I intended to do. I'm not actually going to conceal my under eyes today. I am just going to powder. Oof. Yeah, did you see that powder fly up in the sky? Get the forehead. I'm just using that same brush, the Sigma F10 that I used in the beginning to powder down my eyebrows. I like a set face. There's always dog hairs. Our next step is to take a flat shader brush or a smudger brush. I'm using the Morphe M432 and taking that same dark shade that we used earlier, depending on what you used, and just do your lower lash line. So today I'm going to be bronzing, and I use the True and Luscious Lucky Glow Bronze and Highlight Palette. Got it in a Boxycharm. I use a big fluffy brush. This one is the Morphe E41, and I just tap it in there, tap off, and I start to lightly pat my face, kind of buff it a little bit, because this palette is actually really pigmented and I'm very fair. Get the forehead too. I like to kind of bring it into the from the corners, bring it in, and very, very lightly we're dusting, and then bring it in through the center too, because I don't like having strobes of contour coming down, or bronzer. Just a little bit into here. This might be why I get the acne down here, but my face acne isn't super harsh. It's just my chin line. I'm going to take the Morphe R10, and I'm going to tap it in the blush, buff it kind of into the bronzer, and make sure it's not like a harsh definition of blush. So for highlight, I'm going to use actually the highlight in this palette just because it is actually not a bad highlight. So we put a little subtle glow on our eyes, and then, or not on our eyes, what am I talking about? Next to our eyes. I kind of do it in like a weird little hook shape and then bring it down next to the eye. Also like to take it down my nose. So now I'm going to take a Morphe M213, just a tiny little brush, dip it in that highlight, and do my inner corner. I like kind of like a blingy highlight and like a really, really poppin' inner corner. So now we're going to set, and this is just the Maybelline New York Master Face Studio. But I have a hard time using my high-end stuff because I'm like, oh, it's so expensive. So I just liberally spray my face also, by the way, because you probably just noticed that. And then I have a fan that my sister brought me back from Paris, and I just use that to dry my face. Now it's time for one of my most exciting, my most favorite parts. We're gonna do lips. So, for lips, I have the Realher lip liner in I Am Confident. It's like a nude. Not that I need to line my lips, because do I? No. However, helps to keep my lipstick in place, I find, and keep it from running, keeping it from doing, crazy stuff. So we're just going to line, and I'm going to stop talking. Okay, and now for the lipstick, we're going to be using the Amberlight shade by Ilia Beauty, which not only does it, I like the smell of this lipstick. It doesn't really have a smell, but I like what it does smell like, and it's a really nice shade, super creamy, and in fact, I actually have a tree nut allergy, and I'm afraid of using a lot of makeup products for that reason, because a lot of makeup products have nut oils in them. And technically, from whatever research I've done, shea and jojoba technically are nuts. But according to the way that they're cosmetically processed, it allows me to use them. If I'm correct, this lipstick has jojoba and shea in it, and I still use it. So, hi gems, thanks for watching my video. I did my hair off camera because I didn't think anyone was going to want to see it, but I just straightened it. I used my regular shampoo from Walmart and a regular hair mask from Walmart, and that's all I did to it. This is what it looks like even without a straightener. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching and for your support. And if you do want to continue to watch me in the future, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Also, if you do feel like you want to try out the makeup look and you want me to see it, you can feel free to send them to me on Instagram. I will tag my Instagram page down below as well. But thank you and have a great day, my little gems. Mwah.